Today I want to show you how you can automate and streamline a lot of your creator sourcing process. This system is super simple to run and to work through. I'll show you how you can use it, and then I'll also show you how you can set it up yourself. The way this works is that you will generally have some sort of criteria for the creators that you want to work with. For example, here we are looking for beauty influencers, dark-skinned women, personal brands only, and not companies or salons or big brands. I can put in more information like they have to have X amount of engagement or whatever other requirements I have here in plain English. I put in how many I want to screen and then any sort of minimum followers. The way this works is that as soon as we run this, it's going to go and search for beauty influencers on Instagram. You can add TikTok optionally as well. And then after it does get a long list of, in this case it's only 25, it's going to screen them, which it means that it's going to use AI to look at every post or profile pictures and use that to screen and see which one is a good match. So for example here, I'm running this and I had the AI look at all 25 creators. So it's pretty simple in terms of how it looks like. You have 25 screened, you have 3 matches, 1 maybes, and 2 emails found with a 100K reach of everyone who we have screened today. So if we zoom in here a little, we have the creator, how many followers they have, and then the verdict, which is match. Why was this a match? Because the photos are close portrait of a black woman with deep dark skin, with deep brown skin, real personal creator account, beauty/skincare content, Arizona, cross-post TikTok, which is like 12.2K there, and she has her public Gmail in the bio. Here we have her contact information, and then the link tree that she has. So if we were to go to her Instagram here, we can see that she is she's exactly what we were looking for, right? This is exactly what we were looking for, and she does have her email in the bio alongside a link tree, which is all present here. Now we have a list of different, different matches and 1 maybe. The reason why this is a maybe because she has a black and white profile picture, and with this version of the AI or the system, we have the AI look at the profile pictures only. We could theoretically have it look at different photos or videos to see what hair type they have, or to be more sure, I guess, with its verdict. Now another sweet thing you can do here is you can enable outreach, which means that, for example, if we click on draft outreach here, we have her email and then a short message, which is found you through this, your content is exactly the kind we're looking for. We're putting together a small paid creator program, and I'd love to send over a brief. Obviously this is a template that I've used to send over, or just to put as a placeholder. You can put any sort of personalization you want, and you can personalize quite a lot because you can tell them, I saw your recent post about, or your recent video talking about XYZ product. I would love for you to also market our own product. You could not do this at scale usually, but obviously since we're using AI, we can look at 1,000 different creators, look at their recent videos they've posted, and then reference those videos in the outreach, and then automate the outreach. For people who don't have their emails, you can send them DMs on Instagram. I don't suggest you do that unless you know what you're doing, because automating outreach through Instagram is a bit tricky and there's a lot of things to take care of before you do that. Now, one thing I do want to say is this is a very simple demonstration. What I'm going to show you in a second is how you can build it on your end and completely customize it for you. So if you want to have the ability to shortlist certain people, you want to reach out through phone numbers, or you want to do some other things, you can customize it completely to you. So for example here, let's say instead of beauty influencers, I want fitness influencers. Same concept. In this case, we're looking through the database that I have internally because I've scraped these items before. So it just gives me a bunch that I've already scraped before. But when you do set it up, and I'll show you how you can set it up, it will be connected live to Instagram. So the way it works is pretty simple. You put in your description in plain English, like we did earlier, dark-skinned women, X amount of followers, posting their face, usually whatever information you really want to put in here. What it does is that it generates hashtags to search through in Instagram. So beauty influencer, makeup artist, skincare routine, whatever it thinks is suitable, it will generate those hashtags, and then it will look for these hashtags on Instagram. The way it does that is that we use an app called, or a platform called Appify, which is a workspace, or it's a marketplace for scrapers. You can scrape TikTok, Google Maps, Instagram, Facebook, many other scrapers that are available here in Appify. And that's how we connect the AI to Instagram. That's how it's able to search and get a lot of the information that you wanted to get. You should know that they give you a $5 for free, so you can test it out before you really commit to anything. But overall, it's pretty cheap. I think the Instagram scraper is around like $1.50 per 1,000 results. Obviously, that depends if you're scraping posts, reels, profiles, hashtags, etc. But pretty versatile. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely, I think, if you were to spend your own time looking through 1,000 results, it's going to take a lot more than $1.50 in terms of time spent. So after it does look through those hashtags, it reads the, it scrapes all the list of profiles. It reads through all the different posts or profile pictures, depending how you want to set it up. And then after it has read the actual images and analyzed it, it will give you a verdict. So it will give you whether or not each influencer is a match. And then after it does that, it gives you that short list or cleaned up version, a custom dashboard that you have. And that's where you can go ahead and reach out to them if you want. Again, like I said before, you can personalize your outreach like, hey Amara, your everyday glow tutorials are exactly what the tone we're after. We're booking 3 creators this month for a paid skincare launch. This sort of personalization it obviously means that you've read or you've seen her recent videos. So the amount of creators that will reply to you is probably much higher than if you were to do it without the personalization. So really simply, how do you set this up? It's very straightforward. I've left this file here in the description below. It's a zip file, very straightforward. Again, like I said, it's just going to give your Claude instructions on how, or whatever AI you're using, on how to set up the same sort of dashboard, same sort of connections that you need. So we'll ask you for your Appify API. If you don't have one, it will walk you through on how you can get it. And then this is just a good base to go off of. So after you have your file downloaded, or the folder, the influencer sourcing folder that I've given you, you can go ahead and open it in your Claude. If you have a Claude subscription, or if you don't, then you can potentially use Codex. But I do strongly recommend that you use your personal computer for this, because again, you need to make some sort of API calls, you want to save credentials, you want to save the data that you're scraping. As soon as you are in here, all you tell it to set you up or onboard you. So as soon as you do that, it will go ahead and do a certain amount of steps, and I'll show you what that looks like here. So I've ran it before. So when I told it to help me set up the influencer sourcing process, it lists out the files in the influencer sourcing file that you've downloaded. I'm not going to go too in depth into this because it's just reading different files, but essentially it will look for existing Appify tokens. If it has found one, then it's just going to use it, so you don't have to give it one. But if you don't have one, then that's when it's going to ask you to get one. And it's pretty simple. It will obviously teach you how you can get it yourself, but the way you can get it is that you go to console here, go to your settings, and then in API integration, you can go ahead and copy this token and you can paste it into Claude. And yeah, once it's done, it asks you, one thing's left, how deep does the screening go? Do you want it to be the profile photo plus bio only, or do you want us to read first 3 posts of the creator? Obviously, you can be as detailed or as granular as you want, or you can be just general. This is literally yours to customize. I just asked it to open up the console, so while it does that, I do want to show you something that I think is quite good to know, just to give you or put it in perspective on how cheap this is in comparison to human doing it. So both actors that it found that we're using are pay per event, which is like around $0.0026 per result. So a default run with 3 hashtags times 30 different posts plus 12 profiles is around 27 cents. So for 27 cents, essentially you can look at around 90 different posts and then add that with 12 different profiles. That cost in human time might be an hour or so. And so if your hourly rate or someone on your team's hourly rate is more than 27 cents, then this system is probably going to cut some cost. I wouldn't say you would completely replace the human, but I definitely think that doing a lot of this heavy manual work with AI can kind of streamline a lot of it, and then you get a short list which you can then, as a human, filter through and work through. It just ran a test run for me because I told it to open up the console. Again, this is just individual beauty makeup, same concept. I can tell it as well if I want a specific location. So I want people in the US, I want people, it can also try to search for people in that specific area, geographical. So yeah, I'll leave the source in the description, and that's about it.